Alrighty, guys, here we are, Friday evening, the last Friday before Christmas, and we are going to look into the uranium weekly close. We didn't do a uranium midweek because I'm doing these daily updates, and I think I will only do the weekly closes for uranium. Unless people really want to have that midweek update, I will definitely do it. So let me know in the comments below. So yeah. Also, yesterday I did a 1 hour video with Andy on his channel, looking into gold and silver, oil, copper, palladium, uranium, of course. And yeah, definitely check it out. We had a good chat. Looked at it from a short term, also longer term perspectives on where I think we're going in this decade here. So yeah, definitely uranium. Let's see where we are in time. First off, I had a request to always add in the uranium spot price, and of course, that is needed to look into. Keeps blasting higher here, and it is my take that we're going to hit that gap here at 100. Then we're going from 2 digits to 3 digits and into a gap. And at that point, we will see what happens. Will there be some resistance there? There often are resistance when you hit a major gap. But definitely, I also thought that we would have had a bigger pullback at the Fukushima high. It was only a few bucks, and then we blasted higher. So my view right now is only that we're going to hit 3 digits here. That is my take on things. And actually, I also think we hit $93 for the ask today. If someone hit that offer, I don't know, but definitely 93 is in the making here as we speak. So definitely a huge, surge from roughly 60 to up 50% for the past 6 months. That's beautiful, absolutely stunningly beautiful. Yes, URNM, so the uranium pure play ETF. I have removed. We had that uptrend line that came here, as you know, that yellow bad boy, which got that's very bad drawn, which got taken out, and now ever since we broke that to the downside, we are actually going sideways, which is not the worst thing that could have happened. What you rarely want to see is a huge drop after you break such a trend line. And I've added in this one here, that green one. It's not perfectly aligned right now, but it can be very soon. Something like that. You can see that actually we have a new one, which I think actually a bit more major and critical if we break that one. And also we're up 2% today. I think we were up like 4% at the early hour trading hours. And we have a gap now, which I actually think will get filled, if we can go closer here, next week. So the gains today are good, but I think given the wick here, I think we need to close that gap before we eventually go higher. We do not want to lose that green uptrend and that blue trend line right here. That would sting very badly, and that I mean by uh, for certainty. And definitely, I think you can see here the red band that we have. We have these highs there and that top right there, and we are within now, which is okay. But again, we will go below. So I think, in my view, in order to avoid that scenario where we break down here, we need to take out roughly 50.5. That will be a big level. We have these highs over here, which is also the internal middle band or the middle trend line in that small range here. So definitely want to watch here, but we are definitely squeezing up here. If we add on the Bollinger Bands, you can see they are very tight. So as you can see here, the Bollinger Band will also break at roughly 50.5 here. So when we get above 50.5, we will have Bollinger expansion and taking out the highs there. So definitely want to watch. Good day, 2%. I like it. And yeah, this is the URNJ. I added in that trend line there, 3 connections, and the lower one we have had on for a long time. And actually, if you can see here that we are actually bull flagging in towards that trend line, and now we're blasting higher. Very promising, and if we get that break here, then I think URNM, of course, will follow and break to the upside. And yeah, this is for now very bullish. And yes, we do not want to lose that uptrend there. I also want to note that you have a cup and handle play right there. Yes, the right side is a bit higher. It doesn't matter. It's still somewhat pretty textbook, and definitely this should resolve to the upside. It really should from a probabilities point of view. But then if we lose that one, that would be, in my view, catastrophic, and we need to regain it insanely quickly if that happens. One of the things that I'm looking at the most right now is the URNM against the spot price. I have cleaned it up quite a bit, so I only have the focus on what is very important right now, and that is actually this right here, that you can see that channel or that range right there. We have now 1, 2, 3, and you can see that we're bouncing quite heavily. This is on a daily. So the past 3 days, the miners has outperformed. Where are you? Where are you? Has outperformed the metal with 6% and actually 8.5% intraday. That is exactly what we want to see at that level, a huge bounce. And this is one to watch really. Again, we have a gap here, as I mentioned. I think that could close, and then hopefully we will go higher. And this is the low in the ratio, and we now have the beautiful 1, 2, 3 spikes lower, which is very textbook. So yeah, definitely want to watch here for that ratio. Alrighty, XLE against the SPX. Again, critical moment in time. I want to remove that. Breakdown, and we are retesting right now. And typically, the highest probability is breakdown, retest, presumption. Again, we could also see a false breakdown here. That would be ideal for the energy sector, but for now it is breakdown, retest, and most of the time we do like that. So we will have to wait and see what happens for this ratio. And again, this is a huge neckline, so it has now triggered, and in order it has now triggered that measured move down, and in order to negate that trigger, we need to get back in. So it is quite clear. And I think next week we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think next week, depending on how many trading days there is, this might get confirmed next week. As I mentioned, I don't know how many trading days there are, so we might need 2 weeks to do it. XLE against URNM. If you are a uranium bull, I want to go to the weekly. You can see here we had a false breakout here, and now we're back into that wedge. And very often when you have false breakouts, you often go to the other side of whatever formation we are in. So, and yeah, zooming out, the name of the game, nothing has changed. Lower lows and lower highs. But definitely we are squeezing up here, and but that false breakout could mean that we are actually going a bit more south before any major upside. Weekly here, URNM against the overall commodities, bouncing at the trend line, which is very nice to see. Still rising, so at some point it should break down, but definitely it is grinding higher. And yes, nothing new. Still my view that we're going to hit the highs there. What has happened today, we can actually see the same thing as the ETFs, a huge wick at the top and closed at the low. So yeah, let's see what happens next week, obviously, but definitely we are bouncing at the trend line. If I can align it better, yeah, there it is. So URNM against Bitcoin, we have broken down. So Bitcoin are definitely in favor to outperform URNM. However, you can notice this blue wedging here. Again, in my view, when you break a very, very important trend line, which this red one is, you more or less often get a retest. And I think if we break to the upside here, you will get a retest, and that's when the big decision is made. Is this breakdown, retest, resumption, or a false breakdown? And obviously, we want to see that false breakdown in order to have the uranium miners getting back in above that grinding red trend line there. You have this bull flag that comes across right there. Excuse me, bear flag. So we want to get back in the bear flag in order to avoid more downside. But the biggest probability is still breakdown retest resumption, and we are just hoping for the second option. URNM against the Nasdaq. I have changed it quite a bit here. This one we had here, I've dotted it, and now we have the upper, so you can actually see we're now forming a better looking bull flag. Add that golden trend line there, retest, retest. So this to me looks like, as you can see, pole flag resumption. So when and if we break that level right there, I want to show you the weekly stuff. That is when URNM heavily outperform the Nasdaq. But we have to get there, then we can celebrate. But for now, it's definitely looking promising with that pole and that flag. Oops, excuse me. Above that trend line. Beautiful stuff. Very, very beautiful. URNM against the SPY. Same thing. I have added that dotted there, which we had the breakdown. And now actually, I think we have a lot better symmetry kind of sideways flag here. And again, huge move up here into that high from 2021. And now we are flagging just below. Very, very bullish to have a test and then sideways bullish price action. And we're not getting a hard rejection. So again, this favors at some point in time, this will move up here. Very briefly, very quickly, and I sound like a goddamn broken record. You know me, this is a major, major important neckline that has been broken. And yes, as mentioned on a few charts ago, such lines that are so important almost always gets the retest. And yes, gold and silver looks primed. I said that a week and 2 weeks ago, but definitely gold is really trying to show the way, and silver is just lagging a bit. So silver above 26. Yes, I said it for like 2-3 weeks now, even more. And gold is looking really, really good above 2K. And I think when they start to run, the spot price for uranium will not be the one that is crashing. I think it will stand still or even go higher, but definitely gold will outperform it, and we will have that huge retest at some point in time. Yes, I've said it so many times, but I cannot see a scenario where we just blast higher and hit the target straight away. Again, obviously, everything is probabilities, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Same thing against silver. Yes, boring as it effing sounds, we need that retest, and that will be hugely bullish for uranium spot price, getting that retest out of the way, and then we can grind higher, hit our target at roughly 9 in an environment where silver will actually do really well, and you could have the uranium spot price outperformed by roughly 2.5x while silver goes to 50. That is a dream scenario, and you can bet your bibbies that the miners will respond to that heavily to the upside. So yeah, that is my weekly wrap up, the weekly recap of uranium against it is our favorite sector, no doubt about it in my view, but definitely the silver miners looking prime for big breakouts. And I did a daily update on that very briefly, but you can check it out. I think it is SILJ or SIL that is breaking out as we speak. So silver miners also looking good. There's actually a lot of stuff that looks absolutely fantastic as we speak. But yeah, that's the wrap. Again, this will be the last weekly recap, at least before Christmas, maybe for the year. So I would like to say thank you for being a part of this for 2023 with regarding to uranium. And we will definitely do more of this in 2024. And I will give you my thoughts throughout this uranium bull market. And I'm certain that this is not over at all as we speak. There is a lot more to come with high uranium prices. And yes, the miners should follow. If you look at that URNM to spot price ratio, it could be that we've actually hit the lows this time around for that third spike low. I will not say any more, guys, other than Merry Christmas and maybe Happy New Year if we don't get in touch on the uranium stuff. Have a great one, guys, and thank you very, very much. Cheers.